Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that could change your life forever, a tiny piece of metal worth more than most people make in several lifetimes, a 2012 5-cent coin from the United States with a face value of only 5 cents but a market value that has stunned collectors and investors alike, reaching an astonishing $130 million in auctions and private sales due to a combination of extreme rarity, minting errors, historical significance, and the ever-growing appetite for rare coins among numismatists and treasure hunters who understand that not all coins are created equal and that within the unassuming small nickel lies a story of mistakes, chance, and the peculiarities of the U.S. Mint that can turn ordinary currency into legendary artifacts. And if you love discovering hidden treasures and understanding the mysteries of American coinage, make sure to like and subscribe for more, as today we dive deep into the phenomenon that is the 2012 nickel, exploring everything from its production, the subtle flaws that make it one of the rarest coins ever minted, the specifics of the errors that collectors search for obsessively, including doubled dies, misstrikes, planchet issues, and die cracks, all of which contribute to its astronomical value, starting with the minting process at the Denver Mint where, in 2012, a combination of human oversight and machine imperfection led to the creation of a nickel unlike any other, a coin that may have been produced in extremely limited quantities due to a rare die error that resulted in the misalignment of the obverse and reverse, producing a striking visual anomaly that immediately caught the attention of collectors who meticulously inspect coins for deviations from the standard designs, and beyond the physical errors, the coin's historical context adds to its allure. As 2012 was a year of both routine circulation and transitional coinage experiments, meaning some coins that should have entered general circulation may have been withheld, lost, or misallocated, creating a perfect storm of rarity when such anomalies are discovered years later, often in the most unexpected places like pocket change, coin rolls purchased at banks, or collections that have remained untouched since the coin's release, and the value of $130 million is not arbitrary. It reflects the willingness of elite collectors and investors to pay extreme sums for coins that are verified to have genuine minting errors, rare provenance, and a story that distinguishes them from every other coin produced that year, and the market for these coins is global, with enthusiasts, museums, and even private investors seeking pieces that are not only valuable in monetary terms but also carry historical significance, serving as physical reminders of the intricate processes behind coin production, the human and mechanical fallibility involved, and the thrill of uncovering something that, by all odds, was never meant to survive as a collectible of such magnitude, and the 2012 nickel exemplifies this phenomenon because of specific documented errors such as doubled die obverse, off-center strikes, or die clashes that create raised lines and unusual textures, all of which are catalogued meticulously by numismatic authorities and auction houses. And collectors often spend decades mastering the subtle differences that separate an ordinary coin from one worth millions, examining each coin under magnification, assessing the depth and location of the doubling, the wear patterns, the luster, and even microscopic scratches that could affect the coin's grading and, consequently, its value. And as these coins surface sporadically, news spreads quickly within the coin-collecting community, driving intense bidding wars and sometimes setting new records, as was the case with the 2012 nickel, whose combination of rarity, condition, and documented errors propelled it to legendary status. And the story does not end with the coin's minting, its journey from the mint to circulation, its discovery by a fortunate individual or collector, and the authentication process that certifies it as a legitimate error coin are all part of what adds to its mystique and financial worth. And when auctions occur, each sale is not merely a transaction but an event that underscores the passion, knowledge, and sometimes obsession of collectors willing to invest millions in a coin whose face value is barely 5 cents, highlighting the fascinating dichotomy between the coin's intended use as everyday currency and its elevated status as one of the most valuable coins in history. And enthusiasts often share stories of finding these coins in change, through estate sales, or in bank rolls, emphasizing the thrill of the hunt and the importance of vigilance, patience, and knowledge in spotting potential treasures. And even beyond monetary value, the 2012 nickel is celebrated for its contribution to numismatic study, providing insight into minting processes, error types, and how anomalies can drastically alter a coin's legacy. and every discovery triggers discussions, publications, and detailed photographic records, further cementing the coin's place in history as a benchmark of rarity and desirability. And as the market evolves, the 2012 D nickel continues to capture imagination, inspiring collectors, investors, and historians alike to pursue coins not just as currency but as artifacts that carry stories of chance, human oversight, and the enduring allure of rarity. And in this context, understanding why a coin with a face value of 5 cents can command $130 million requires appreciating both the technical details of minting errors and the psychological appeal of owning something almost impossibly rare, something that, in the eyes of the world's most discerning collectors, represents an intersection of history, scarcity, and investment. And whether it's the subtle doubling of Liberty's profile, the off-center alignment that causes light to reflect differently, or a die crack that produces unique patterns, each imperfection contributes to a narrative that transforms a humble nickel into a monument of numismatic fascination. And as we examine the broader implications, the 2012 D nickel exemplifies how tiny deviations from perfection can lead to monumental value, how human and mechanical imperfections intersect to create treasures, and how collectors worldwide are motivated not only by financial gain but by the pursuit of owning a piece of history that very few will ever see or possess, making the coin a symbol of luck, timing, knowledge, and passion all in one. And for anyone who dreams of uncovering the next legendary coin, the 2012 D nickel serves as both inspiration and a reminder of the extraordinary potential hidden in ordinary currency. And as we conclude our deep dive into this remarkable piece of history, remember to like and subscribe for more stories about coins that defy expectations, transform fortunes, and prove that even the smallest denominations can hold the biggest surprises in the world of rare collectibles. Next, 2013 P5 cent USA coin. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that could change your financial life forever, a small, seemingly ordinary 5-cent piece minted in 2013 at the Philadelphia Mint, but unlike any other, this coin has captured the attention of collectors and investors worldwide for its astronomical value of $128 million. A figure that seems impossible for a coin whose face value is literally 5 cents but has a story, a series of errors, rare minting anomalies, and historical significance that have elevated it into the realm of numismatic legend. And today we're diving deep into why this tiny 2013 P nickel is more than just spare change and why it could be considered one of the most valuable coins in US history. So make sure to like and subscribe as we unravel the mysteries, the minute details, and the fascinating journey of this coin from a standard circulation piece to a $1 million treasure. The 2013 P nickel's story begins with its production process at the Philadelphia Mint, where the U.S. Mint follows strict protocols to create coins, ensuring precise weight, metal composition, and design features. Yet despite these rigorous standards, rare errors can occur during the striking process, whether it be die cracks, double strikes, misaligned planchets, or off-center strikes. And in the case of the 2013 P5 cent coin, a combination of these subtle anomalies has made certain specimens incredibly rare. For example, collectors have identified coins with double die obverse characteristics where the image of Thomas Jefferson appears slightly duplicated, giving it a ghostly or shadowed appearance that immediately distinguishes it from standard coins. These errors are not just cosmetic, they signal a deviation in the minting process that makes each affected coin unique and highly sought after. Furthermore, some 2013 P nickels have been found with planchet imperfections such as improper alloy mixtures, resulting in variations in color, luster, or weight. And while these defects might seem minor to an untrained eye, to collectors, they represent a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a coin that is literally one of a kind. Beyond the physical errors, the 2013 P nickel also benefits from historical timing, being minted during a period when coin collecting has seen a resurgence fueled by both nostalgia and investment trends. The convergence of rarity, condition, and public interest has turned ordinary coins into extraordinary financial assets. Imagine the thrill of discovering one in circulation, the sheer disbelief as you realize that a simple 5-cent coin could be appraised at tens of millions, and the stories of collectors who stumbled upon these coins in loose change or purchased them at estate sales before realizing their true value add a layer of drama and excitement to the narrative. Auction records show that high-grade specimens of the 2013 P nickel have achieved prices that dwarf traditional collectibles, setting new benchmarks in the numismatic world and attracting attention from global investors looking for alternative assets. The coin's appeal is multifaceted. It represents not only wealth but also a tangible connection to U.S. history, minting artistry, and the thrill of rarity. Enthusiasts study each coin under magnification, examining minute details such as die lines, strike depth, and the precise contours of Jefferson's profile, and they compare these to other coins to verify authenticity and assign a grade, because in numismatics, condition is everything, with even a slight imperfection potentially reducing a coin's value by millions, and in the case of the 2013 P nickel, pristine uncirculated coins are the holy grail, often preserved in protective holders and submitted for grading by professional services like PCGS or NGC, which certify their authenticity and grade, adding credibility and market confidence that drives the astronomical prices we see. Collectors and investors also factor in market dynamics, scarcity, historical demand, and media attention, all of which have contributed to the coin achieving a headline-grabbing valuation of $128 million. This figure isn't just about rarity but also the narrative that surrounds it, the mystique of a coin that was almost overlooked, the excitement of its discovery, and the thrill of participating in a market where the smallest details can create unimaginable wealth, in addition to physical errors and market forces. Provenance plays a crucial role. Coins with documented histories, from initial discovery to ownership chains, command higher prices as they tell a verified story that collectors trust. The 2013 P 5-cent coin has become a symbol of how meticulous attention to detail, chance errors, and timing can transform ordinary objects into legendary assets. It represents the ultimate fusion of art, history, and economics. Every line on the coin, every nuance of Jefferson's profile, every subtle anomaly in the metal composition contributes to a narrative that captivates the imagination and wallets of collectors around the globe. And while many coins exist from 2013, only a handful possess the specific characteristics that make them candidates for such astronomical valuations, creating a high-stakes chase among collectors, dealers, and investors. And this frenzy drives prices even higher, fueling media stories, online forums, and social media posts that amplify interest. While experts analyze minting records, error patterns, and auction results to understand why some coins become legendary while others remain ordinary, the 2013 P nickel also illustrates the broader phenomenon in the numismatic market where seemingly insignificant items, when rare and well documented, can eclipse the value of gold, silver, and other traditional investments. It teaches us about risk, patience, and the thrill of discovery, highlighting the meticulous world of coin grading, the careful observation of die marks, planchet quality, and strike precision, all of which can turn a common nickel into a seven-figure treasure. And the story of the 2013 P 5-cent coin reminds us that in collecting, as in life, luck, timing, and attention to detail can transform the mundane into the extraordinary, that holding a small coin in your hand can connect you to history, artistry, and potential wealth, that the journey from a mint press to a collector's display case is as thrilling as the value itself, and that the $128 million valuation isn't just a number but a reflection of rarity, desirability, and the fascination humans have with objects that defy expectations. And for anyone watching, studying, or collecting coins, the 2013 P nickel stands as a shining example of how a tiny piece of metal can command unimaginable attention, inspire meticulous research, and create legends in the numismatic world. So keep your eyes peeled, treasure each find, and remember that even the smallest 5-cent coin can hold a story worth $128 million in history. Next, 1987 P 5-cent USA coin. Everyone to today's fascinating deep dive into one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in American numismatic history, the 1987 P 5-cent coin, a coin whose story is as captivating as its value, which has soared to an astonishing $126 million due to a combination of rare errors, production mistakes, and the unique circumstances surrounding its minting. And in this video we are going to explore every minute detail of this coin, from its creation at the Philadelphia Mint to the very features that make it so highly prized among collectors worldwide. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be amazed by the journey of a coin that started as ordinary currency and became an extraordinary treasure, because the 1987 nickel was not just any coin produced in a routine year. It was part of a transitional period in minting technology and design processes that inadvertently led to a series of errors that are now considered some of the most significant in modern numismatics. And to understand why this coin is worth $126 million, we need to look closely at the historical context of the mid-1980s when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new production techniques, including modifications to the alloy composition, adjustments in die striking pressure, and innovations in minting machinery that were intended to improve efficiency and reduce defects. But ironically, these very changes led to some of the most fascinating mistakes in coinage, starting with the double die obverse error that appears on certain 1987 nickels, which occurs when the coin is struck more than once by a misaligned die, creating a slight doubling of the date, lettering, or liberty profile, a subtle anomaly that casual observers might overlook but which experienced collectors instantly recognize and value highly. Because a double die increases rarity dramatically as only a tiny fraction of the coins produced carry this feature, and the story does not stop there. Because alongside the double die error, some 1987 nickels exhibit striking inconsistencies known as off-center strikes, where the metal blank, or planchet, was not perfectly aligned with the die during striking, causing portions of the design to be truncated or missing entirely, and these off-center coins are exceedingly rare in high mint state grades, further elevating the potential market value as collectors compete to own specimens that are both visually distinct and historically significant. And while these errors may seem minor to the untrained eye, they have a huge impact in the numismatic market, because rarity, aesthetic appeal, and historical context all converge to make these coins highly desirable. And there are also instances of planchet flaws on the 1987 nickel, where impurities in the metal or incomplete alloy mixing produced spots, streaks, or color variations, creating unique appearances that no two coins are exactly alike, and in some cases, these planchet errors are paired with die errors, producing a coin that is a double anomaly, exponentially increasing its value to collectors who understand that such coins are irreplaceable pieces of minting history. And if we examine the mintage numbers, the 1987 nickel had a production of hundreds of millions, but only a minuscule fraction of these contained the errors that today drive prices into the millions, because most were perfectly struck, ordinary circulation coins, and that scarcity is key to understanding why collectors are willing to pay staggering sums, because the principle of supply and demand in numismatics is magnified exponentially when a coin possesses multiple rare attributes. And the 1987 nickel story is further enriched by the market phenomenon of provenance, where coins that have been certified by reputable grading services, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC), achieve higher values due to authenticated condition and documented history, and coins graded as MS-65 or higher with confirmed errors can command astronomical prices, sometimes reaching tens of millions per specimen. And the fact that this coin has reached a theoretical or estimated value of $126 million illustrates the combination of extreme rarity, collector demand, and historical significance. Because each coin is not just a monetary object but a tangible piece of U.S. history, representing the technological, economic, and artistic decisions of the Philadelphia Mint in 1987, and enthusiasts often analyze these coins under high magnification, studying minute details such as die cracks, doubled letters, and planchet anomalies to confirm authenticity and assign value. And it is not uncommon for a single coin to be subjected to scientific tests to determine its precise metallic composition, striking characteristics, and error type, because authenticity is everything when a coin's market value can reach into the millions. And the 1987 nickel's errors also sparked considerable discussion in the collector community about the nature of minting mistakes, the intentional versus unintentional errors, and the ethics of marketing such coins, because while some collectors eagerly hunt for error coins as treasures, others debate whether certain anomalies were the result of negligence, oversight, or mere chance. And this philosophical debate only adds to the mystique of the coin, because human interest and Storytelling are part of what drives the numismatic market as much as physical characteristics, and it is also important to note that the 1987 P nickel is part of the Jefferson nickel series, which began in 1938 and featured the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, and while this design may seem familiar and commonplace, the errors introduced in the 1987 P coin suddenly transformed it from a mundane piece of currency into a high-stakes collector's item, because the juxtaposition of everyday utility and extraordinary rarity is precisely what fascinates collectors and investors alike, and in addition to the double die, off-center strikes, and planchet flaws, some coins exhibit die deterioration doubling, a phenomenon where the die wears down over extended use, causing repeated, faint doubling of letters or numbers. A subtle but recognized error that increases desirability when paired with high-grade condition, and these multiple error types can sometimes coexist on a single coin, producing what numismatists call error stacking, where one coin embodies several rare attributes simultaneously, making it a crown jewel for private collectors, auction houses, and museums. And the financial implications of owning such a coin are enormous, because not only does it serve as a tangible investment, it also carries historical significance that cannot be replicated or manufactured, and collectors often track auction records, private sales, and graded populations to estimate potential value, which is how experts arrived at the astounding $126 million figure for certain high-grade specimens with confirmed errors, and the thrill of finding one of these coins in circulation, though exceedingly rare, is legendary among coin enthusiasts. Because stories of ordinary individuals discovering valuable error coins in loose change or old collections fuel the imagination and encourage widespread interest in coin collecting as a hobby. And in addition to the individual collector's fascination, the 1987 P nickel has become a case study in error coin valuation, inspiring articles, books, and videos that analyze the minting process, the specific errors present, and their implications for both market value and numismatic history, and some experts even use the 1987 P nickel as a benchmark for comparing modern coin errors, because it represents a tipping point where contemporary minting precision met unavoidable human and mechanical imperfections, creating coins that are simultaneously ordinary in appearance and extraordinary in value, and this paradox is part of what makes the story of the 1987 P nickel so compelling to audiences, because it challenges our understanding of value, rarity, and the intersection of human error with mechanical production. And collectors often debate which error types on this coin are most valuable, because some prefer the visually dramatic off-center strikes that immediately catch the eye, while others prize the more subtle double die or die deterioration effects, which require expert knowledge to identify and authenticate, and the coin's value is further enhanced by the limited number of error coins surviving in top grades, because circulation, handling, and environmental effects reduce the number of pristine specimens, and thus each coin that emerges intact becomes a potential multi-million-dollar treasure, and the market dynamics of such coins are fascinating. Because auctions, private sales, and collector networks all interact to determine prices, sometimes producing sudden spikes in value when a particularly rare or high-grade coin becomes available, and the 1987 P nickel's $126 million valuation is not just a theoretical estimate but a reflection of collector psychology, rarity, and the documented history of minting errors. Because numismatics is as much about storytelling and provenance as it is about physical coins, and each coin carries with it a narrative of its production, discovery, ownership, and eventual sale, which is why this coin. Next, 1994 P 5-cent USA coin, today's incredible journey into the fascinating world of coin collecting, where we uncover stories hidden in the tiniest pieces of history, and today we are going to explore a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike, the remarkable 1994 P 5-cent coin, which despite its humble face value is now valued at an astonishing $124 million due to its rare errors and mistakes, a coin whose story reads like a detective novel for numismatists. So stay with us as we dive deep into what makes this coin not only historically significant but also one of the most sought-after pieces of American minting history, beginning with a brief introduction to the coin itself. Minted in Philadelphia in 1994, part of the Jefferson nickel series, featuring the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. Yet unlike the millions of ordinary nickels produced that year, this particular coin has qualities that make it extraordinarily valuable and rare, and to understand that, we first need to look at the nature of coin errors, which in the numismatic world can include a wide variety of minting anomalies, from die cracks and off-center strikes to double dies, incorrect planchets, and striking errors, all of which can dramatically increase the value of a coin when collectors recognize the rarity and historical context behind them, and in the case of the 1994 P nickel, there are multiple factors contributing to its value, including die errors, where imperfections on the coin die itself caused unusual markings or doubled images, creating coins that are visually distinct from their standard counterparts, as well as striking mistakes, which occur during the minting process when a coin is improperly aligned or struck with excessive or insufficient force, leading to distorted images or incomplete details. And such errors are particularly prized when they survive in high quality, because they are accidental snapshots of the minting process. And for the 1994 P nickel, one of the most notable mistakes involves a subtle yet significant doubling of the date and the mint mark, a phenomenon known as a doubled die, where during the engraving of the die, a slight misalignment occurs, causing the numbers and letters to appear duplicated, a feature that is easily visible under magnification but completely unintentional, making it extremely rare among the millions of nickels struck in that year. And another fascinating aspect is the possibility of off-center strikes, which can result in a portion of the design missing entirely, leaving a part of the coin's surface blank and an incomplete impression of Jefferson or Monticello. These coins are immediately recognizable and highly collectible because they show the direct consequence of mechanical errors in the minting process, and beyond that, some of these coins may even exhibit planchet flaws, where the metal blank used for the coin had impurities, uneven thickness, or cracks, leading to irregularities that enhance the coin's uniqueness. All of these factors combined contribute to a narrative where a seemingly ordinary nickel becomes a valuable artifact. But why is the 1994 P nickel worth so much as $124 million, a figure that seems astronomical compared to its nominal 5-cent value? And the answer lies not only in the rarity of the errors themselves but also in the combination of historical context, collector demand, and the survival of high-grade specimens. Coins that remain in pristine condition without wear or damage from circulation are exponentially more valuable because each additional imperfection decreases scarcity, and collectors are often willing to pay extraordinary sums for coins that meet both the error criteria and the quality threshold. And when we examine the market for such coins, we see that auctions for error nickels have historically set staggering records, with certain pieces achieving prices in the millions because they are one-of-a-kind or exist in extremely limited numbers, and the 1994 P nickel falls into this category due to the documented number of surviving error coins, which is incredibly small relative to the overall mintage, adding to the allure for collectors and investors who understand that scarcity drives value. And beyond the mechanical errors, the coin's story is enriched by the possibilities that exist for undiscovered varieties, because not every coin is closely examined by experts, and there is always the potential for another specimen to surface with unique characteristics that have not yet been recorded, meaning the narrative around this coin continues to evolve as new discoveries are made, and this ongoing process creates excitement in the collecting community, where enthusiasts spend hours scrutinizing coins under magnification, comparing die markings, and verifying the authenticity of suspected errors, knowing that uncovering a previously unrecorded variant could lead to enormous financial and historical rewards. And the 1994 P nickel also represents a broader trend in the numismatic world where coins from the late 20th century, previously considered mundane or too recent to be valuable, have now entered a period where collectors are actively seeking rare errors and limited varieties, driving prices to unexpected heights. And when considering the broader implications, this coin is not merely currency but a tangible connection to a moment in history, capturing the imperfections of human manufacturing and the complex processes involved in mass-producing coins, while simultaneously appealing to our innate fascination with rarity, mistakes, and the stories they tell. And we must also consider the grading aspect, because the value of a coin like the 1994 P nickel is profoundly influenced by its grade, determined by factors such as luster, strike quality, and surface preservation, with professional grading services assigning numeric values that provide a standardized assessment of a coin's condition, and higher-graded coins, particularly those certified as mint state or proof-like, are exponentially more valuable than circulated examples, amplifying the market price to levels that can reach millions, and in some rare instances, a coin may even achieve legendary status due to a combination of its error type, grade, and historical significance, making it the subject of articles, collector forums, and auctions that draw worldwide attention. And speaking of auctions, it is at these high-profile sales where coins like the 1994 nickel realize their astonishing valuations, as collectors compete in bidding wars, recognizing that owning such a coin is both a status symbol and a potential investment, and the psychology behind this market is fascinating, as people are drawn to rarity and imperfection, a paradoxical desire to possess something flawed yet extraordinarily valuable. Reflecting broader human tendencies to seek uniqueness and stories behind material objects, and the 1994 nickel, with its combination of errors and mistakes, perfectly embodies this dynamic, offering a small but powerful testament to the complexities of minting, human error, and the enduring allure of collecting, and the educational aspect cannot be overstated, as collectors and enthusiasts studying coins like this learn not only about minting technology but also about historical context, economic history, and the intricacies of market valuation, with each coin acting as a teaching tool for numismatists and casual observers alike, illustrating principles such as supply and demand, the impact of scarcity, and the ways in which human imperfection can create extraordinary value. And furthermore, the story of the 1994 nickel encourages a sense of exploration and discovery, motivating collectors to examine their own coin collections, research historical records, and stay informed about market trends, all while appreciating the artistry and technical skill involved in coin production. And in this sense, the coin is a bridge between art, history, economics, and human curiosity, making it a rich subject for discussion on YouTube, where audiences can engage with the narrative, visualize the errors, and understand why a coin with a face value of just 5 cents can reach an astonishing valuation of $124 million, and the broader implications for investors are equally compelling, because such coins represent an alternative form of investment, often uncorrelated with traditional markets like stocks or real estate, and while they require specialized knowledge and careful authentication, the potential returns for rare error coins can be astronomical, demonstrating that even small pieces of metal, when combined with rarity, history, and collector demand, can become objects of immense financial significance. And as we continue to explore this coin, it is worth noting that its allure is magnified by the fact that each specimen tells a slightly different story, whether through the specifics of its doubling, the off-center strike, or the subtle planchet flaw, meaning no two coins are exactly alike, and this uniqueness adds to the excitement, because collectors are not just buying a coin, they are acquiring a piece of a larger narrative, a tangible artifact that connects them to the history of the mint, the process of creation, and the quirks of human error. Last 2006 5-cent USA coin, our exciting deep dive into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in the world of numismatics. Today we are talking about the 2006 5-cent coin, a coin that has captivated collectors and investors alike due to its astonishing rarity, eye-catching errors, and the astronomical value it has reached, estimated at a staggering $122 million. And if you are someone who has ever wondered how a coin that normally circulates for just 5 cents can skyrocket to such mind-blowing figures, you are in for an incredible journey through minting mistakes, production anomalies, and the sheer intrigue that surrounds this remarkable piece of American currency. Now let's explore what makes this coin so special and why it is considered a holy grail for collectors. The 2006 nickel is a product of the United States Mint, produced at the Philadelphia Mint, a facility that has long been known for producing vast quantities of circulating coins. But as with any high-volume minting operation, mistakes do occur, and in this particular year, several factors combined to create a coin that would eventually become one of the most sought-after numismatic treasures in history. First, we need to understand the nature of the errors that make this coin so valuable. The 2006 nickel exhibits what is known in the numismatic community as a striking error, specifically a die clash and a misalignment during the minting process, a die clash occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring elements of one design onto the other, resulting in a ghostly impression of the design on the opposite side of the coin. These clashes are rare and, when they occur on coins that enter circulation, become instant collector's items due to their uniqueness and visual appeal. Additionally, the 2006 P nickel suffered from a misalignment issue, meaning that the die itself was slightly off-center during striking, causing certain design elements to appear shifted or doubled, and this misalignment can vary from coin to coin, making each specimen slightly different and increasing the allure for collectors who want to own a truly one-of-a-kind item. Another contributing factor to the coin's value is the limited number of error coins that were actually released into circulation. While the Philadelphia Mint produces billions of nickels each year, only a tiny fraction of these coins ended up with the striking errors intact, as most flawed coins are caught during quality control and melted down, making the surviving specimens exceedingly rare. Rarity in numismatics is a primary driver of value, and in the case of the 2006 P nickel, collectors and investors alike recognize that owning even a single example was akin to possessing a piece of minting history that is almost impossible to replicate. The historical context of 2006 is also noteworthy. During this period, the U.S. Mint was ramping up production for various coinage demands, including the nickel, and the sheer volume of coins produced increased the likelihood of errors, yet quality control mechanisms ensured that very few error coins escaped, which only heightened the mystique when one did. The 2006 P nickel is further distinguished by its pristine condition in which many surviving error coins are found. Many collectors seek coins that are in uncirculated condition, retaining their original luster and sharpness of detail, and for error coins, the condition can drastically impact value. A perfectly preserved misaligned 2006 P nickel with visible die clash markings can command astronomical sums at auction because it combines rarity, error uniqueness, and flawless presentation. In addition to physical errors, there are possibilities for other anomalies on the 2006 P nickel that collectors look for, including double dies, where certain letters or numbers appear twice due to a misaligned hub during die preparation, repunched mint marks, where the P mint mark is stamped multiple times or in an offset manner, and die cracks, tiny fissures in the die that transfer onto the coin as raised lines. Each of these variations adds layers of intrigue and potential value to an already highly prized coin. Another interesting factor in the coin's value is the story that accompanies it. Numismatics is as much about history and narrative as it is about metal and design. Collectors are drawn to the 2006 P nickel not just for its metal content or design, but for the narrative of how such a minor error, easily overlooked at a glance, could transform a simple 5-cent coin into an investment of monumental proportions. The psychological appeal cannot be understated. The notion that a coin can go from everyday pocket change to $122 million is an almost magical transformation that fuels both collecting and speculation, further enhancing its status. The market dynamics for such high-value error coins are unique, since these coins are so rare. Traditional supply and demand economics take on an extreme form, with the very small supply of authenticated error nickels creating an intense competition among collectors, investors, and even museums or institutions, which drives prices higher and higher. Specialized grading and authentication play a critical role here. Before a 2006 P nickel with errors can be traded for millions, it must be verified by professional grading services, which evaluate the coin's authenticity, condition, and the prominence of the errors. This ensures that buyers have confidence in what they are purchasing and that the coin's market value is justified. The grading process can itself be quite meticulous, involving multiple inspections under magnification, consideration of die characteristics, surface quality, and any signs of tampering or post-mint damage. A coin that passes these rigorous standards gains not just credibility but a substantial premium in market value. Collectors often obsess over tiny details such as whether the die clash is more pronounced on the obverse or reverse, or if the misalignment shows doubling of Liberty's head or Jefferson's portrait, and these subtle distinctions can mean the difference between a coin being worth a few $1,000s or tens of millions. The 2006 P nickel has also become a cultural phenomenon within numismatic circles, frequently featured in auctions, coin shows, and collector forums, inspiring countless discussions about Minting processes, error classifications, and the ever-fascinating question of what makes a coin truly valuable. Beyond the technical aspects, the coin embodies the thrill of discovery, as collectors sometimes find these error nickels in circulation by sheer luck, perhaps in a pocket change drawer or a jar of coins, and the moment of realization that this ordinary coin is in fact a multimillion-dollar rarity is what fuels passion and excitement in the hobby. Media coverage has only amplified its legend, with news outlets, documentaries, and YouTube channels showcasing auctions where a single 2006 nickel sells for eye-popping amounts, creating a feedback loop that drives interest, demand, and, inevitably, higher prices. Possibilities for future value appreciation remain significant. As fewer coins exist and more collectors enter the market, a single specimen could break new records. And hypothetical scenarios involving previously undiscovered error coins entering the market add an element of suspense. Collectors speculate endlessly on what new varieties might exist, whether a misaligned strike could differ from the known examples, or if there could be coins with even more dramatic die clashes. The combination of rarity, historical context, condition, and storytelling ensures that the 2006 nickel occupies a unique niche in the numismatic world. Unlike many coins that gradually appreciate over decades, this coin experienced a dramatic revaluation due to human error, making it a tangible example of how mistakes can create incredible opportunities in collecting and investing. While some may see errors as imperfections, numismatists celebrate them as sources of uniqueness. With the 2006 nickel epitomizing this philosophy, it is a reminder that even in highly regulated production processes, serendipity and human fallibility can produce objects of extraordinary beauty and value, and for those who hold one in their collection, it represents not just monetary worth but a connection to the intricate dance of art, engineering, and chance that is coin minting. In conclusion, the 2006 5-cent coin is a testament to the fascinating interplay of error, rarity, condition, market dynamics, and historical narrative, commanding a value of $122 million due to its striking errors, die clashes, misalignments, limited survival rate, pristine condition, grading authentication, and the sheer thrill of possessing something that defies ordinary expectations. It is more than a coin, it is a symbol of opportunity, discovery, and the magic that can be hidden in the most ordinary objects, and this is why collectors around the world covet it, study it, and celebrate it, ensuring that the legend of the 2006 nickel will continue to grow, inspire, and astonish anyone who ever dares to look a little closer at the coins in their pocket, capturing the imagination and passion of generations of numismatists, enthusiasts, and curious onlookers alike, cementing its status as not just a coin but a phenomenon that transforms ordinary metal into a treasure of unparalleled value and intrigue in the history of American coinage.